Fire with a man who then carjacks a vehicle with a child inside.
It's an 8-year-old girl. I can only imagine how traumatic this is.
The child was found safe a short time later. We'll have the latest on the search for the suspects. Plus,
I think everything should be on the table.
Calls for a change to the system after another officer refuses to be interviewed by the Special Investigations Unit. And the Blue Jays are back in action tonight, kicking off their series against the Tampa Bay Rays in Florida. Good evening, I'm Talia Ricci. We begin in Mississauga tonight, where police are searching for 2 suspects involved in a shooting and a carjacking. 2 other suspects are in custody. Officers were called to Burnenthorpe Road and Confederation Parkway in Mississauga just before 7 o'clock. When they attempted to arrest a man, the suspect started shooting at them, with officers returning fire. Here's a police officer on scene with what happened next.
The suspect then subsequently rammed a tactical vehicle with their own vehicle and nearly struck one of the officers seriously, and then proceeded to escape on foot, where they carjacked a nearby pickup truck and fled the area in a pickup truck. And this pickup truck had an 8-year-old girl that was left in the vehicle. Our responding officers located the pickup truck, engaged in a pursuit with it, and while being pursued, the suspect essentially threw the child out of the vehicle.
The child was not injured and reunited with her family. The vehicle was found shortly after that, less than 4 kilometers away near Eglinton Avenue and Credit View Road, but the suspect has not been located. Police are also looking for a second suspect who they described as a black male, 5'8" to 6 feet tall, with a medium build. 62-year-old Ijaz Chowdhury died in mid-June after his family asked for help during a mental health crisis. The officer who shot Chowdhury has now refused to speak with the province's watchdog. The family says they're disappointed but not surprised. And as Ali Chiasson reports, the former director of the SIU says the system has to change.
There is a distinction between what a victim's family believes is the right thing to do and an officer's rights when being investigated by the Special Investigations Unit.
The subject officer is not required to either agree to an interview or be interviewed, nor is he or she required to provide a copy of the notes of the incident.
The subject officer who shot 62-year-old Ijaz Chowdhury during a wellness check on June 20th isn't participating.
The family and the public also has a right to question that decision.
Chowdhury's family lawyer Nader Hassan says it's troubling yet not surprising the Peel police officer is choosing to remain silent.
They and I found out about it on Twitter, having read a tweet from a CBC reporter.
This is the 3rd case to come to light in recent weeks where subject officers have refused to speak with the watchdog. 2 Peel police officers involved in the fatal tasering of Clive Mensa aren't talking to the SIU. And last month, a Peel police officer who fatally shot DeAndre Campbell declined an interview with them as well. All 3 cases involve black people or people of color whose families say they were struggling with mental health issues.
Obviously, there is currently a problem there, but we've had lots of problems in the city of Toronto. And unless the criminal justice system reforms itself quickly, you're not going to get the trust.
So where is the police accountability if we can't count on it from the SIU?
Well, my view is there is none. And that's why, in my view, the subject officer should be required to be in an interview with the SIU and ask whatever questions they want to ask.
He believes police officers should be held to a higher standard.
And they carry a gun that's loaded. And I say when there's a shooting, the public are entitled to know a full accounting of what transpired.
So then what's next for the Chowdhury family?
SIU needs to know that this is not going to be over when the SIU closes its case. There is going to be a coroner's inquest, and we are going to be there on behalf of the family, and the world is going to be watching.
Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
A cyclist is dead after a vehicle rollover in King Township this morning. We spoke to a witness who jogged by the area just before the accident.
With my headphones in, I heard this loud bang and didn't think anything of it, and saw helicopters ahead, and then was informed of what I had missed by just a minute. Yeah, very, very scary, and has kind of rattled my entire day.
Police say it happened just after 7 a.m. on Keel Street near Caval. A male cyclist was pronounced dead at the scene. Police later found a man who they believe is the driver of the rolled over vehicle walking about 2 kilometers south of the site. He is now under arrest. The Special Investigations Unit is looking into the case. It's unclear what occurred, but police did say an officer was conducting speed enforcement in the area at the time of the crash. And investigators released this photo of the bike asking for help identifying the cyclist who was killed. He's described as a white male in his 40s to 50s wearing black shoes and a navy helmet. The bike is a specialized tarmac. York Region is one of the areas moving into stage 3 today. People got their first workout in at the gym.
It's been like 4 months since I've been neglected at the gym, just sitting at home every single day, just losing everything.
It's nice. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be back on routine.
So I enrolled for Cycle Fit, and yeah, it was fun. We were just 2 people, and this was, after a long time, this was needed.
For regions in stage 3, gyms, spas, and indoor dining can open with restrictions in place. Durham, Halton, and Hamilton are also among the regions moving to the next stage today. Toronto and Peel regions remain in stage 2. And the province is reporting 195 new cases of COVID-19 today. That's an increase of more than 90 cases since yesterday. The spike is prompting the Premier to ask everyone to do their part, especially young people.
We have the brightest young people anywhere in the world. I always say that.
Are we doing Angelina after this?
Guys, you just, I'm telling you, you just can't go to these parties. It's, you're going to go home. It's not little Johnny I'm worried about. It's little Johnny's grandparents I'm worried about. They go see grandma, grandpa, or mom and dad. That's concerning.
Ford is also reminding municipalities and regions that their local medical officers have the ability to implement further restrictions, which he says the province welcomes. Overall, though, the Premier says the province is on the right track. After scrapping the expansion of 3 universities 2 years ago, including one in Markham, the Ford government was in that city today touting a new university campus. In 2018, the province blamed a deficit for canceling the projects. Today, an announcement that one will be going ahead, but as Angelina King reports, the province's involvement is a lot different.
I am pleased to announce that York University will be proceeding with plans to build our Markham Centre campus.
But without provincial dollars like originally planned. Instead, York Region and the City of Markham raised the capital on their own, all $275 million of it. The government will only help fund operations after the campus is up and running. It'll be 10 stories high and offer more than 20 degree programs to 4,200 students.
This is a growing need in our community to access quality post-secondary education. The number of 18 to 22-year-olds in York Region is projected to grow by 34% to the year 2041. That's the highest growth of that age group in the whole province.
Back in 2018, citing a deficit, the Ford government pulled funding promised by the previous Liberal government to build 3 university satellite campuses in Markham, Milton, and Brampton. And today, the Premier helped unveil the new campus in Markham, raising the eyebrows of the opposition's colleges and universities critic.
There's a certain irony in trying to take credit for something when they actually stood in the way of it happening. You know, you've got to look at education as an investment.
The Minister of Colleges and Universities says the new funding model was created in recognition of the financial realities in Ontario,
which at this time make it impossible for Ontario taxpayers to be able to fund the significant capital expenses that are required to build and equip a modern and high-tech university or college.
The announcement encouraging to those behind the other cancelled projects, Wilfrid Laurier University saying it's still committed to expanding into Milton, while Brampton's mayor says proposals have already been submitted to the province.
Now, I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. I'm not going to believe it until I see a government announcement. But right now, they're telling us that we're next on the list, and we're taking them at their word.
York University's new campus will be on 5 acres in the center of Markham. Construction will start in the coming days, and it's expected to welcome its first students in the fall of 2023. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
Servers at a North York restaurant say they've only recently been paid for shifts they worked back in March. CBC Toronto reached out to Hoops Sports Bar and Grill asking why it's taken 4 months for the women to receive their money. Taylor Simmons has more.
While many restaurants have begun reopening their doors, this Hoops location in North York remains shuttered, also locked up paychecks, according to these 3 former servers.
We didn't think it would go on for this long or that it would take us this long to try and get our money. I'm a single mom too, so it was not fun.
Maya Essery says she was out more than $500 for wages and tips earned before the restaurant shut down in March. Despite multiple texts to her manager, she didn't receive the money until today.
He told me we wouldn't be getting our money until restaurants opened back up because his payroll wasn't open.
What has that meant for you, like living wise? How have you been able to get by?
Yeah, that was really unexpected. I couldn't pay my rent for the next month.
Another server says she was owed closer to $1,000.
I feel like we're all just like young girls trying to, start our lives. And honestly, it's okay. Like I have my savings account, so like I'm okay. It's honestly just money that I would love to put into my savings account so I can pay for school.
CBC Toronto contacted the women's managers Thursday. They wouldn't agree to an interview, but did confirm 4 servers still needed to be paid, about $1,200 to $1,300 total. The women received about that amount today. Still, they say it's less than expected and doesn't cover their tips.
I distinctly remember one being $350.
It's money they're still owed, according to employment lawyers.
It's still illegal under provincial employment law to withhold wages from employees.
There's some technicalities about what's included as wages, and even though tips aren't wages, they still have to be paid. So they can't arbitrarily be withheld.
Essery says after everything, she'll still be filing a complaint with the Ministry of Labour.
It's not acceptable. And I want to make sure that the Labour Board knows this is what's happening.
Taylor Simmons, CBC News, Toronto.
If your car starts with a push of a button, you'll want to listen to this. York Regional Police have recovered more than 50 cars that were stolen across the GTA. Police say thieves were reprogramming the starters in the cars, stealing them off someone's driveway in a matter of minutes.
Once they're inside, they can use this to connect to the onboard computer, and they'll typically have a fob or 2 with them. And with a smartphone, they can basically reprogram the fobs and drive away with your vehicle in less than 3 to 5 minutes.
This security video shows the thieves in action. Police say 52 cars were stolen over the course of several months, and certain cars were targeted, like Honda CR-Vs. A security expert we spoke to says this method of stealing cars is common because the tools to reprogram a key and the start button in a car are easily accessible.
A lot of these systems are available on the black market on the internet. They say on the website that they will only sell you these tools if you are an authorized locksmith, but a lot of websites and a lot of people that are selling these products may not actually vet you. They may not actually investigate to ensure that you are an authorized locksmith.
A number of the vehicles recovered were meant to be shipped to Africa. 11 people were arrested in the bust. The best way to protect yourself is to park your car in the garage or use a bar that locks your steering wheel.
How easy do you think it'll be to get that adrenaline to a regular season level playing in a ballpark with no fans?
Blue Jays baseball is back. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how the team fared in the opener against the Rays and where the team will call home for the next season. Plus,
Heat warnings in effect for the city of Toronto. We'll tell you how hot it's going to get this weekend after the break.
Biggio hammers one right field. Down the line, it is gone.
The Blue Jays are back in action, playing the first game of the season against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight in an empty stadium. The Jays won 6-4, and the team finally announcing today where they will play home games. A majority of them will be played in Buffalo at the stadium where Toronto's AAA affiliate plays. And the return of the NHL is inching closer, and the city is getting ready. The league has unveiled more details for its two hub cities, Toronto and Edmonton. As it approaches its restart next month, Kelda Yoon has more.
We're putting shrimp up for the Maple Leafs.
That would be scrimmage. Workers busy putting up the fencing around the events plaza this afternoon.
Today's the first day.
This is right by Hotel X, one of the two hotels NHL players will be staying at. The barriers will allow players to walk from the hotel to nearby recreational facilities without coming in contact with the public. Nearby BMO Field has also been fenced off and will be used as an exercise and activity space for the players. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman says it's been a challenging process.
First and foremost, and you've heard us say that over and over again,
health and safety is driving all of our decisions.
At downtown's Royal York Hotel, the fencing is also up.
One of their great features is a wonderful outdoor patio deck. There's a walking path that will take our players from the Fairmont Royal York to the Scotiabank Arena.
There will be 14 restaurants for players and staff within the bubble. There will also be concierge service for them to order delivery.
We have faith in our bubble. We have faith in the strength of the perimeter of our bubble.
NHL's chief medical officer says much thought has been put into creating this bubble, and consultations continue with provincial health officials.
We've designed it to be constructed in a way that does two things. It protects the public in the first instance, and then it protects the people inside the bubble in the second case. And we don't expect it to be perfect. We expect with a number of people that we're going to have some positive tests, and we have a method and a process designed in advance to deal with that. And we'll continue to consult with the local health authorities as that unfolds.
The NHL says both hotels have many amenities, training rooms, meeting rooms, lots of entertainment activities for the players and the staff. As for the games, exhibition games will begin on July 28th, and the qualifying games will start on August 1st. Kelly Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
And our champions are back in business, playing their first scrimmage game inside the NBA bubble in Orlando. The team taking on the Houston Rockets tonight, winning it 94-83. A donation program started by Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment has now produced 500,000 meals for frontline workers and community agencies.
It was really an unreal effort. I mean, all that happened in the course of 16 weeks with about a week and a half of planning. We couldn't be prouder of what we've accomplished to this point.
The program, called Bringing Toronto Back to Its Feet, started in April. Organizers converted Scotiabank Arena and BMO Field into massive production facilities to create and assemble thousands of meals a day. Those venues will now be used to host the NHL Eastern Conference playoffs. The chefs will also prepare food for the hockey players. MLSE says they'll continue to work with community partners to produce meals. They're also donating 15,000 pounds of food and meal preparation resources. Time for a check on the weather now with meteorologist Nick Sternkovich. Nick, a hot and sunny weekend to look forward to.
Well, Talia, the story is all about the heat this weekend. We've got lots of sunshine and temperatures once again on the rise. We've got sunny skies right across the board. Heat warnings, though, are back for the city of Toronto. And then Monday, after the weekend, we've got some thunderstorms to talk about. We'll get to that in your long-range forecast in just a sec. There's a look at the heat warnings for the city of Toronto and outside areas with temperatures expected to climb into the 30s, humidex values into the 40s. Today we hit 27 degrees in the city of Toronto with the humidex. It felt like about 32 across the GTA. It's only getting hotter and more humid as we head through the next couple of days, and that is coming with a lot of sunshine. Here's a look at your forecast heading through the next couple of days. We may see some patchy fog down to southwestern Ontario through tonight. Otherwise, for the GTA, it's just generally a clear night for tonight. Same story, mainly sunny skies for tomorrow afternoon as we head through Saturday into Sunday. Again, lots in the way of sunshine, and that carries us right through until Sunday night. We are tracking, though, another system that's going to move through, and that will bring some rain and likely some strong thunderstorms for Monday. But we'll get to that in the long-range forecast. For the weekend, though, it looks good. Lots in the way of sunshine. Southwestern Ontario, temperatures down to 19 degrees through tonight, and winds are a little bit cooler as you head out toward London, but that's pretty close to the seasonal mark. Patchy fog, though, especially in the outlying areas from the city as we head through tonight. As we move into tomorrow, though, that should burn off pretty quickly. Sunny skies to mainly sunny skies tomorrow. Temperatures of about 30 to 31. Humidex to 36. And I want to point something out here, and you'll see this for the Golden Horseshoe forecast and for southwestern Ontario. The average high for today, or for tomorrow rather, is the same as it was today. And what that means is we're at a bit of an inflection point. So even though we're talking about heat warnings, the average temperatures moving into the next week will start to drop. So I just thought I'd point that out, despite the fact that we've actually got heat warnings in effect once again. For the Golden Horseshoe, 17 degrees for tonight. For tomorrow, highs to 30 degrees, humidex values to about 35. Again, average temperature of 27.1. And then as we move toward the end of July, it slowly begins to taper off, but you wouldn't notice it in the forecast. We're sitting basically above 27 in all of the long-range forecast. 30 degrees tomorrow. Humidex actually 35 for tomorrow, but this comment over here for Sunday and Monday, humidex values in excess of 40. Showers and thunderstorms, though, on Monday. The potential for some severe weather on Monday, and then cooler, more seasonal temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday. Talia.
Thanks, Nick.
The weather is brought to you by Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. We test, so it runs. It's hard to stop a train.
The raccoon is going for a swim.
You heard that right. We're not the only ones trying to escape the heat this summer. A raccoon decided it needed to cool down and used this pool to do so. After a couple of laps, the pool owners became worried about the animal's well-being, so they guided the raccoon to the stairs. But apparently the pool crasher was just having too much fun, getting back 2 more times for some leisurely laps. What a good swimmer. That's our show for you tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a safe weekend and stay cool. Good night.